magazine. OM, Philip Glassman, the publisher, owner, editor. I don't know if he edits it, but you're the guy that does everything that needs to be done to make sure the magazine gets out that your staff needs help with.
We definitely publish it and we own it, but we've got so many different copy editors and editors because when you're doing 100 pages of editorial content, it's plus ads obviously are included, but it's a lot to make sure there's minimal or non-mistakes. It's challenging.
It is. The magazine business. I don't envy you a bit being in the magazine industry.
I'll tell you, it's Linda who had it, and it's our 40th year. Obviously, this year is our 40 years.
Miss Marks. I remember Linda.
Marks, yeah, Linda. It's the oldest magazine in the state of Florida, and she was one of the only women at that time that owned a magazine, and it was a smaller book at that point, but she had it for so long, and she was such a leader in the community, and she got me involved about 2 years ago, and it's been challenging, but it's also very rewarding because of like what we're doing next month for November is the 15th year of the Charity Register, and there's 227 charities involved in the Charity Register. It's been going on for 15 years, and it's pretty amazing what Ocala brings because most of these charities, or not most, but a high percentage of the charities are the top charities in the nation because they're doing so much good for the community, and that really says a lot about Ocala and what Ocala's going on here.
Oh, Give for Marion happened 2 days ago. It was 24 hours.
Yeah, I heard.
And we need to, because COVID-19 has made it where charities can't go out and actively
raise money.
Yeah,
and no events. We had to push our nursing event, which I think that's our 7th year of doing the nursing event. We had to postpone that because you can't have 500-600 people together, in a room. So it's been challenging for them. But what's been good is on the social media side and what we're doing with them, we're able to publish these charities, and whether I sponsor the Kiwanis for their page or the Rotary, and they're getting awareness of what they're doing because they do so much in the community. And the group knows what they do, but the community didn't. So what's able to be put it out there and let people read about it, and then they educate about it, and then they say, oh my gosh, and then they want to sponsor and put in more money because what they're doing.
I just your magazine. I haven't looked at this one yet, but the last one I did.
This is October's.
Right, that was October's. I looked at. I believe it was September's. It was the art one.
Yes, yeah.
And it was an amazing. Just how you don't know how much good artists and good art there is here in town, and your magazine captured that fantastically.
Well, that pop-up art castle that they did, and we owe a lot of that to Jessie. I mean, Jessie's my creative director. Obviously, she's a digital artist, but she does every different medium that you could do. And they came up with that with Ralph D'Amelio, who's our head photographer in house, and came up with that concept to paint that live, her back in front of the art piece,
right in front of everybody.
Yeah, and then we put that and we transcribe that, if you will, to the cover. So we're excited. We've had it's been a tough year for everyone in the world, but we're excited because we've kind of moved and tweaked and changed our model to kind of adhere to what's going on with COVID to try to, make it work.
Now that you've been at the helm for a little over right at 2 years now, right?
Well, 2 years in a month, actually next year.
Right. You've been at the helm. Have you established, because each month comes up with a theme and everything, have you established a favorite one that you like? Like, I know y'all do a great wedding edition.
Yeah.
And you do a great art edition. Have you found one that you find more favorite?
My covers that I've done with OM, my favorite one is our winter edition that we did last year, and it's with Ralph D'Amelio's daughter, actually. She's on it. It's a white winter wonderland.
Right.
And she just, I don't know what it is about the photo that he took with his own daughter or something, but my daughter and I think that's our favorite one that we've done.
How fulfilling is it to you as the person who ultimately the buck stops with you when it comes to OM the magazine? How fulfilling it is to you when you see the great content that you're able to give to the community and how the community receives that content?
You know what? It's very rewarding and it's very fulfilling. And, the editorial content is so important because we're trying to take things that are happening nationally or globally and then tie them back into the city. And that was Linda's concept. It was always a city magazine. So we do that. But, we've hired Carlton Reese from Golf Weekly. He was with them. He's also a local here. He's a family man here for many, many years. And his family's multi-generations in Ocala. And he's really stepped up our editorial content. But, the most rewarding thing for me is being able to help people in the community and change people's lives directly to them. And we do so much charity work, and that's why we're so excited about November and the Charity Register. It's going to be a separate magazine from the magazine. So we're excited to have that.
Just kudos for all the help you're giving to the charities, because it's been such a tough year for them. Without help from people like your magazine and your staff and all, it might even be a worse year for them.
I'll tell you, it's touched everybody in the world. That's the thing is people say, oh, but it's everybody in the world.
We were talking with Hank from Vets Helping Vets yesterday.
Yes. Yeah,
they're down $40,000 this year.
I know.
And that's just one story.
But that's another example of a local person that all veteran places around the nation are going, hey, Hank, what are you doing with your model? Because it's working better than anyone else. Same thing with Interfaith, with Carla Grimsley, what she's doing. These certain little things in Ocala. And look at the CEP of Marion County. CEP just got ranked #1.
Chamber of the Year in the nation.
In the nation,
7,000 chambers.
Right. I was just about to say, out of 7,000 chambers would be #1. So, all those little things. And then you've got the World Equestrian Center, and then you've got the new hotel going to open, and you've got so much growth going on with the Villages, which is 20 minutes away from here. So this area is just booming.
I was in the Villages yesterday. It's
so
crazy you said that. I was in the Villages.
Where were you at?
I was at Sumter Landing.
Okay, yeah, I was down at Brownwood.
I got to go. We almost went to Brownwood, but then we were at Sumter Landing. We literally said, which is closer? We had went to a couple shops there, and then we went to the Goodwill right there on 466, and we said, which is closer? And we did Sumter Landing, and so we went and had lunch at City Fire at Sumter Landing.
It's
and
great.
And then we went over and saw a friend of ours, the Big Bad, is a group I know that play piano on. They came in, they were playing there. But then we took the turnpike back because I wanted to take the leisure back. So we drove through the countryside, took turnpike. I had not realized. I knew they had jumped the turnpike.
Oh,
but they didn't jump the turnpike.
No.
They've hurdled it, and they're running.
24,000 homes in like 6 months.
They're running on the other side of the turnpike.
On both sides, all the way down. Yeah.
They're south of the turnpike now, wide open.
Yeah, it's insane. We my day job, really, the magazine is. I've been blessed to do real estate. I'm a real estate developer with my family, and we did a project down there on 466A in Buena Vista where we put in now a Lowe's and a Publix and stuff. But that deal took 14 years to develop the property. And
that's right where I was yesterday. Right,
really?
Right near there.
That's our project there. And it's like when you looked at it back, let's say, even 7 years ago, it was so green, there was no houses. They put 6,000 homes in, I don't know, maybe 10 months directly across the street from the property. No one's ever done that in the history of the world. No one develops like that.
I was partners with a guy 15 years ago that we ran 5 food trucks. And not food trucks like you think of today's modern food truck. The construction food trucks, the ones that go up and beat the horn, and everybody come out and get the sandwiches.
They
and
had those in L.A. You see those in Los Angeles.
We would send all 5 trucks to the Villages, and this was 15 years ago.
Right.
They were building 7,000 houses a month then, and this was 15 years ago.
Yeah, they're a beast.
And by the way, on top of the world, they're building like crazy out there now.
What people don't know is they've got 45,000 more homes to be built out there. He's a baby Villages himself.
Right. Stone Creek out there has got a bunch to build.
Yep.
Trilogy still has tons of land. There's a lot of development going on right now in Ocala.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. The Villages, though, is a phenomenon in the sense that they're #1 and have been for the past 12, 14 years for development of building homes in the world, the largest community in the world. But they beat #2, which is in Irvine, California, by 123%. So there's no one even close.
They're lapping
to
the
them.
field.
Yeah, they're like, it's like,
And by the way, speaking of Villages, today at the Villages Polo Ground at 4:30 this afternoon.
Oh yeah, they got the polo match.
President Donald Trump.
Oh, I thought they had a polo match.
President Donald Trump will be there today at 4:30.
Oh, really?
Yep.
He was just here last Friday.
He was here last Friday. He's in the Villages today. I bet the Villages little bit more crazy than he had at Ocala.
Oh yeah, no.
Because Ocala had like 10,000.
That's the #1. The Villages is the #1 Republican area, and it's also the owners of them are the #1 contributors to the Republican Party, the Morse family.
Is it not amazing how the Morse family started that as an RV park?
That whole story. It was actually the main. His name was Mr. Schwartz.
Oh, was it Mr.
Yeah,
Schwartz?
he started it in Michigan. He had a theme park, and then he sold the theme park and came out to Orange Blossom Hills, and he bought up all those trailer park lots, and that's where he started. Then later they took it over, to the Morris family that now has it. But the old man was Mr. Schwartz, and yeah, it's Disney World for retirees.
It really. I was driving through there yesterday, and two things struck me. One was embarrassing. One was not so embarrassing. I was driving around. And I go, I'm a big avid golfer.
Right.
And it's like babes in Toyland when you're driving through the villages if you're an avid golfer. So I'm looking at all these golf courses and going,
babes in Toyland.
And my girlfriend looks at me and goes, "What are you doing?" I go, all these golf courses and everything. I go, a couple years, 3 years from now, I'll be able to live here. And she goes, Tom, you'll be 55 in 8 months. You'll be able to live here in 8 months.
She's like, you can take your reservation now.
Yeah, I was like, you just ruined that for me.
Right. Don't blow.
I'm not playing in the Oswald golf tournament this weekend in
Don't
town.
burst my bubble on that one.
Because you have to be 50 or older to play in the Oswald.
Yeah.
This is my 4th year boycotting it. So 40 years OM's been here.
40 years, yeah. It's our 40th year. And, 15th year on the charity registry, 7 years, I think 7 or 8 now on the nursing event. And, with Carlton coming in, Carlton Reese, we're going to be doing some other stuff, some golf events. We're going to be doing more events when obviously the COVID, goes away where we can start doing events again. And we're looking at doing the nursing event at the New World Equestrian Center. I think it's May 12th.
40 years, 15 years with the registry. Institution. I think you could get that classification that you're a Ocala institution.
Yeah, and Linda, I mean, she's so amazing, and she's doing so much better health-wise. That's originally why I just bought the magazine, just to take the responsibility off her back, because she was not doing
well. The stress of it at Miss Mark's age probably wasn't the best for her.
She literally died on the hospital for, I think it was for 6 seconds or something, and then came back, and then when she woke up, she was blind from sepsis, and she had a real tough go.
Yeah.
So, but you know what?
Really good at trivia,
She
though.
told me, you're going to be great at it. I said, I don't know anything about publishing in the magazine business. You're going to be great at it. It's going to be perfect for you. And in hindsight, she was right. But at that point, I had 4 nightclubs and now I don't own a liquor license and I'm out of the bar business completely. So it's actually been a blessing through the pandemic.
That's probably a good thing, too.
Best thing ever happened to me. So I'm happy to.
When I grew up as a bar back and then a bouncer and then bartender and then manager and I always thought, if I could ever get out of this, the best thing that ever happened to me was getting out of the restaurant.
Yes. And you know what? I've had 2 restaurants and I've had 9 concepts over my career. I've had a liquor license, even in California for 20 plus years. This is the first time I just sold off 3 liquor licenses, and it's the first time I haven't had a liquor license. And it's so nice because you don't have the responsibility or the liability or, all the things that go along with it.
The liability would be the one that concerns me the most.
I had 3 at one time, and when you start having liquor licenses that you have have other people using it, the liability jumps through the roof, if you would.
I learned that in the early age of radio. When I was first started in radio, I thought it was cool. You could get media credentials to go to all these sporting events.
Yeah, we do that through the magazine.
And I would get these media credentials, and I'd go to these sporting events, but then I'd get bored, and I'd say, I'd say my pals, hey, I'm a big guy now. I got these media. You want to use them, right? So long story short, about 10 years ago, I gave 2 of my buddies my media credentials to the NHRA Gator Nationals.
Uh-oh.
And I told them, behave yourselves. Go upstairs, get your little lunch in the media area, but then get the hell out. Go. So I get a call from the NHRA.
You knew it was trouble.
You are no longer going to get media credentials. They had went up there intoxicated. And, I was new in radio, and I thought, it's cool, give your buddy. Yeah. I know that there's now, I would never give any of my media credentials to anyone but me.
Yeah.
I mean, you seem like a nice guy, Philip. You're not getting my media credentials. You know what I mean?
Listen, I got mine. I'm scared to give mine out myself.
I learned the hard way that you don't do that.
Yeah.
And so just the stress and liability of doing that, I wouldn't imagine selling a liquor license or leasing a liquor license to somebody that really don't care if they besmirch your name or not. How they deal with it.
My partner in the Rawhide and the bigger bars, we had the 3 bars there for almost 2 years before the pandemic hit. And he's a CPA. He's not married, no kids. You know, he loved it. And his first bar. He had 21 cash registers, 30,000 feet. So, but you know, he's a CPA, so he loved it so much. But you know, I didn't go to the bar for 9 months. The last 9 months we had it, I was, you know, I have a 3-year-old and a 9-year-old, so I'm kind of on a different path.
You're busy.
Yeah. Well, with the magazine, it kind of, you know, when I had the bars and I didn't have a 3-year-old, it's a different gig. You know, when you have a 3-year-old, it's, you know, your focus is on that.
Tough, though, and that's why some of these charities need help, too, because a lot of the service industry took a beating during this COVID, and you got a lot of unemployed people still.
Crushed. Oh, there's tons.
My good friend who worked for you, Protein.
Oh yeah.
He finds work here and there, but it's, you know, his night job. He has been Mr. Ocala bouncer for 15 years.
Forever.
And now he's got nothing.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's the pandemic's fault. It's nobody's fault. It's the pandemic's fault. You can't stay open.
No.
And not have money coming through the door.
No. Well, our landlord, I won't mention his name, but he wanted us to pay rent. We were closed for 6 months. They also closed us down on St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day.
Of all days.
5
in the bar business.
5 o'clock on St. Patrick's Day.
That's right. It was 5 o'clock. I was leaving with the kids to go skiing in Vail. They also closed the whole mountain of Vail down the same day and canceled the planes. I said, oh, well, this is not a good St. Patty's Day.
No, you know, think about this. Halloween's going to be the first holiday that the service industry gets a chance to make money on.
Back.
Luckily, it's on a Saturday this year.
Yeah. You know, and luckily, you know, I mean, and it's going to be crazy because, you know, everyone's going to go nuts because people haven't really gone out. You know, I mean,
now then, and you know, one of the first things I'm doing, I'm checking to see if I can get a room at the new hotel downtown because it's just smart.
Yeah.
Just go ahead, go downtown, party on Halloween night, stay at the new hotel. Don't worry about giving the county any of your money or Bill Ramputi any of your money.
He's got 107 rooms there. He's opening up on Monday. The Hilton Garden Inn, you know, Danny Gaikwat, he worked years to get that deal done. And I don't know, $25-30 million project. So we're supporting it too. He's opening up a bar. He's brought in the best bar, Rob Floyd from Bar Rescue, mixologist. He brought in him to do, you know, all the cocktails and everything. And I just walked through the hotel last week. It's, you know, it's impeccable. It's gorgeous. So we're taking a room there for the first week and, you know, supporting it any way we can. So we're excited to have it.
I just think it's going to be the perfect thing. You go downtown, you celebrate Halloween. You go, you get a good night's rest. You get up the next morning. There's no reason to call Bill Ramputi because you need help getting out of a DUI.
I hope I never have to call Bill Ramputi on that
note. The only time I like to call Bill is, hey, Bill, you want to get together and play some golf?
Well, you know, Danny also, you know, he bought the cover of November. So we've got the Charity Register with our theme on that separate book. But the Hilton Garden Inn will be on the cover for November. We shot it with a drone at night at dusk. And so he's going in there and there's a story, a feature story going on about what he's doing there and all the things that are happening there with that Hilton Garden Inn.
I'm looking forward to, there's an invite only opening on Monday. Somehow, somewhere, somebody made a mistake, I'm sure, but I got an invite, so I don't know how that happened. But
I don't think that's a mistake. I think that's proper.
Something about a lost golf bet or something years ago, and somebody named Karan. I'm not going. You know. But I'm looking forward to it.
It's beautiful. I'll tell you that much.
It's going to give a new, fresh look to downtown.
Well, there's never been a hotel down there, and there's never been anywhere to stay.
But 55 years ago, they knocked it down.
That was before my time, obviously. Yeah. I hear about that from like Ronnie Cole tells me there was a hotel down there. But, you know, besides that, I'd never see it.
Okay, so did you just say that you have substantive conversations with Ronald Cole?
I do. Actually, Ronnie Cole dates, my ex's mother. So I have more than subsequent.
I know Kristin.
Yeah, Kristin McMinn. That's correct.
I know Kristin.
Do you know her daughter?
I do know her daughter as well. I didn't know y'all dated, but yeah, I know her daughter.
She's the mother of my son.
Oh, congratulations.
Brax Wiley Glassman.
Yeah. I've been on numerous occasions to the 5 o'clock meeting of Ronnie, Doc, Tony. Yeah. Sitting at
Tony Mancera,
my dad outside deck.
My dad brought him to the country.
Right.
I don't even know. He came up from Miami with us, with our
Right.
family, from before. So Tony, Tony's.
I've had many glasses of wine and many glasses of Stella sitting
I
on
don't know why
at that
they don't
one
put a
table.
plaque on that table though.
They should.
At Mark's.
They should. They should. And now Dennis, one of Doc's partners in the law office, he sits there every now and
He's
then.
actually in this magazine, Dennis.
Dennis is?
Yeah, because Dennis is doing some unique stuff. He represents animals.
Yes.
And pets, which was just unique. And he advertised in the magazine.
Very, very smart guy.
Here he is. Yeah, he is very smart. Dennis Freed.
Yeah, there he is. There's
his ad
Dennis.
right there, which is pretty cool.
Dennis, y'all were able to make him look nice. Good
It's pretty unique though because I never heard of animal law.
If it was something, if you could make money off of it, Dennis is going to figure it out.
When he said it to me, he told me, he said, I got something for you, I got to tell you. And he said it to me, so when I opened up the file, I said, animal law. I said, that's a new one. I hadn't heard about that, representing animals. But yeah, so
Dennis,
he's in
good
there.
guy, very smart guy too.
Yeah, very smart.
He likes to come to trivia. I host trivia around town. He likes to come to trivia just to show people they don't have a shot. You know who else used to do that? Linda Marks.
I was about
Linda
to say,
Marks would
Linda-
come around. She would go. I used to
Linda
host,
knows she's constantly educating herself.
once a quarter, I would host a trivia game at Golden Ocala.
Uh-huh.
And Miss Marks would come in and she would sit by herself and she'd have her dinner and she'd have, to enjoy. People would, hi, Miss Marks, good to see you. Everybody was very nice, but Linda would sit by herself and wax the entire room at trivia.
Really?
And I mean, there'd be teams with.
I know
there'd
she
be
knows a
teams
lot
with
'cause she's constantly telling me different
11,
things.
12 people on one team, 6 people on another team. Linda over there by herself, just waxing people.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I never knew they did trivia at Golden Ocala.
They did it for.
That was back in the day when it first opened?
No, this was probably 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years
really?
ago. Yeah,
Not that long ago.
Robert Huff had me in because I do trivia. I've done trivia for Mojo's and Beef O'Brady's. I've done trivia all over town, and Robert had me in because his guests, his members had said, hey, we'd like to have something different. He said, how about trivia? They thought it was a good idea. He called me. So thanks to Robert Huff for doing that, by the
Well,
way.
I've been a member there since they opened. I never heard of trivia. They didn't tell me about it.
Yeah, did
no one
trivia.
invited
We did it downstairs in
In Knickers?
In Knickers. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, Ray and DK came and played. DK came and played trivia. Because if Derek Kelly came and played trivia, that's all I'm telling you. Ronnie Cole did not come.
Yeah.
I'm still a little aggravated with Ronnie Cole. Matter of fact, next time you see Ronnie Cole, say, Tom was talking to me and I heard about you jumping on him at the national championship game. How'd that go for you? See what he tells you.
Well, they're out of town. He took her. It's Kristen's birthday. So
is.
He took her out of town, and I think they went to Asheville or something like that.
I've spent many a formative Friday and Saturday with Ronnie and Kristin at the Tournament Players Championship up in Jacksonville.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I'm friends with his daughter, Cassidy. She invited me up there a couple times.
One of the nicest people you will ever meet in your life.
She is literally
Cassidy.
the nicest person that I've known.
She's literally how her dad is Ronnie Cole.
It's funny you say that because I tell her that.
'Cause she is so nice.
Well, I had the tavern for almost 7 years,
Right.
so she would come there, and I had all these different patrons. When you own a bar, it's different when people come there because you see them in a different light, and when you own the bar, it's like you get all this backstories and stuff about people,
Certainly.
and you see different things. So, but she's just always been such a sweetheart.
She's one of the nicest people
Absolutely,
you'll ever
yeah.
meet.
Bar none.
But that's Ocala in a nutshell. Some of the nicest people, and I'm sure there are people that aren't nice that live
Right.
here. But most of the people I deal with on a regular basis,
There's some
nice
amazing people that really make the community here, and that goes back to those charities. The people that make the backbone of this, the business leaders, the people in the CEP and the charities, they make this community what it is, and that's why we're leaders in so many different areas of what's happening. Not only growth, but
Philip Glassman, he's the publisher of OM, Ocala Magazine. 40 years in existence. Next month will be the 15th registry for
15th year, yep.
for charity registry.
register.
Looking forward to it. I'll see you or somebody from OM next Friday.
Absolutely.
This is my gig now.
No, we'll see
from
you on
8 o'clock.
Monday for the grand
Monday,
opening
that's
at the
right.
Holiday Inn.
That's right. I'll see you there.
At the Holiday
This is
Inn,
my
the
new
Hilton
gig, 8
Garden
to
Inn.
11 every day now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not filling in. It's my new gig, actually.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Philip.
Thank you.
We're coming up at 11 o'clock, Joe Martone will be working the board, so I'm going to go ahead and set up a bunch of gremlins and all in here
Joe
now.
Marcone.
I'm gonna mess with the board just to make sure he can't do anything proper. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Why are you looking? And now you're growling. What? Are you stomach? You don't have a full stomach? You don't have a full stomach?
Yes, I'm hungry.
Well, obviously, the way your
Lunch
stomach's growled.
At noon, come on over.
Noon?
Yeah.
I'll be gone, but you know where I'll be at
I'll
noon?
be here so you can bring me lunch.
Let me tell you where I'll be at noon. I'll be on the either driving range or putting green at Ocala Municipal Golf Course waiting for my Friday game to start.
Okay, yes, sir.
You know, I could say Ocala Golf Club, they're a sponsor.
That's right. You learn the rules quick.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Attic Mall Studios. This is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pride.
Thursday's presidential debate showed COVID-19 hope and despair from the candidates. How is America doing? Medical doctor Jeanette Neshiwat tells Fox News doctors have the tools right now to save